Hello and welcome to We Wonderland. I am Reka and this is the channel where I talk about all my crafty projects. Today is the February podcast episode where I talk about my ongoing projects, finished items and the future plans for the next month. I brought to you cross stitch, crochet and knitting today and some little bit sewing plans, so let's get started. But before we get started, please make sure that you follow me on Instagram as well. Hit subscribe here, and if you would like to see all my projects, then you can find me on Ravelry as well, everywhere as Whip Wonderland. So let's get started. I have my notebook with me as usual to keep track of things, and I thought we would start with my current obsession, which is cross stitch. So I talked about this before that my brother is getting married this year and I wanted to make them something as a gift, handmade. So I bought a kit, which I showed in a previous episode and in my yearly plans, to make sort of a portrait. And it's cross stitch, and I haven't done cross stitch since I was in elementary school. So I was quite worried, so I watched a few videos. But then I braved myself and I started, and it's going very well, and I immediately got obsessed. And also I realized I need a needle minders, because embroidery I could do without, but cross stitch I just really cannot stab my needle all the time. So yeah, I need a needle minder. So I ordered some. Thank you very much for the suggestions on Instagram. I took them into consideration, and I actually got one from the Netherlands, from an individual shop on Etsy, and I'm very excited to get them. Anyway, long story short, so I started my cross stitch, and that's where I am right now. So the bride is almost done. She needs her hair and her bouquet and the finish of one arm. And then I will have the groom here, and I plan to stitch their two cats, the previous cat and the current cat, on the two sides, and then there will be the name on the top and there will be their dates on the bottom. I could have actually done more this week, but at the evenings I was just so tired that I didn't want to mess it up, so I postponed to do it on the weekend. So probably I will progress with this quite fast, which is great because I was worried that I won't have enough time to finish it until the wedding in May. But yeah, I will be done, probably, for sure. Yeah, I think I will be done in like March, in the next few weeks, depending on how much time I can spend on it. This is not something I'm taking with me. I'm very worried that I will get some stains on the bright white fabric. And it's actually very therapeutic. It feels like knitting plain stockinetting around, which I love. Like just the repetition, just the easiness. My brain completely turns off. I don't think. I'm just like in out, and I must say I'm very proud. I don't know how much it shows on the video, but I'm very proud of my hoop back. I think it looks even. I think I did a good job, if I say so myself. So this is a good project as a start. So I think getting kits when you try a new craft or want to get back to a craft again, it's a very convenient way to start, because you don't have to worry about buying individual tools or individual materials, and don't have to worry about, do I have enough, do I have the right one, is it good enough? Nothing like that. You get a kit which have everything, and then you can just give it a go, and if you don't like it, then you don't buy anymore. And if you do like it and you want to keep it as a hobby, then you can go out and get the materials you will need long term. So that's why I chose a kit, and of course because of the design. And the kit is actually good, so I won't show a lot because it's just in a tote bag to keep it clean. I actually want to make a cross stitch project bag, but that requires my sewing machine. So the kit has everything. So it has the bunch of pattern variations, and you can change it up, and it has all the threads you might need, which, well, it has a few folds. So it has a lot of the colors for the dress and hair options, but not so much for skin options. So it shows you that it's inclusive, but it's not that inclusive. And actually the skin color I chose wasn't exactly a skin color, it was meant to be a flower. So I was very, very worried that I won't have enough, because they do not give you full skeins. They give you, for me, it seems like a random amount. So this color has a lot, and this color only has like 4 strands, which is okay. Also, why the flower has so much, and then for the skin I have to worry about the amount. I don't know, weird. So that's the only weird thing I have so far. And the groom will have a different skin color than the bride, because I will not have enough thread from the same color. And also it's not a well-known brand of thread, so I cannot just go and pick the color from the local shop. So that's the only issue I'm facing. Other than that, it's been great. I've been marking my progress, because you need to count the stitches. I've been marking my progress on the paper pattern with just pencil, which works well so far. So I'm quite happy, I'm quite glad. And apart from the thread issue, it works great. I think it's a good one-time project, and I can see myself using the pattern in different designs. So maybe I will make one for my parents as well, or for us. But this unlocked a whole new obsession, and now I want to do cross stitch all the time. And I actually took another look into kits which I could get, and I'm really drawn to the DMC Masters collection. I talked about this in my 2025 plans video. I will link that here. And I do want to get something which is like a full cover embroidery, which is a painting like, because I do like to do those. I mean, in puzzles and in other stuff. So I guess I will love it in cross stitch as well. To just, you know, spend a long time doing this repetitive, enjoyable craft, which I like so much right now. This also like evoked more of my embroidery love. And actually, so I wanted to talk about this at the end of the episode, but we will jump ahead because it fits here. So we went to Geeks and Freaks show, which was like sort of a cosplay, geeky, horror festival thingy in the Netherlands, in Maastricht. Oh yeah, my ring, which is Frida Kahlo, and I got it from a friend. So we went to that event, and I got a pin which reminded me of Harry Potter as a souvenir from my fiance. But on the way back, I was like, I really want to go to the craft store. I remember there's a local craft store close to the train station. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And we went, and there were a lot of good stuff. There were like book nooks and polymer clay everything, and like diamond painting and color by numbers, and a bunch, like a whole wall of yarn, and like kits for crochet and paper flower kits, which made me think maybe I can make a bouquet for myself for the wedding out of paper flowers, which won't die. Don't know, that's a thought for another moment. I'm very rambly today, sorry about that. So we went to the craft store, and I was like, no, I shouldn't spend more money on yarn, you know. But we found this thread storage thingy, which has like, how do you say that in English? Damn it. So it has like sections for your thread, and it comes with a lot of like embroidery thread sort of cards or bobbins, and you can organize it however you want. And I was watching a few embroidery organization videos, because from the kits I have already from Wimper's Embroidery, she always gives full skeins in the kit. And so the leftover skeins I kept, of course, and I wanted to keep them more organized. and with the cross stitch there will be more thread, and with my advent project, which I still haven't finished, there is more thread. So I'm like, okay, looks like I will be more into cross stitch and more into embroidery in the coming years, so let's keep things organized. And before, I just put all my skeins, leftover skeins, into like a plastic box, which I got from like a box of bonbons which we ate. So, you know, like DIY stuff. But then we saw it, and there was a smaller version and there was this bigger version, and a smaller version had like 25 bobbins and the big version had a 100. And so my partner was like, okay, you are really into embroidery now, aren't you gonna use this? I'm like, well, yeah. And he's like, okay, then let's get the bigger one, because that makes sense. So we got the bigger one, and I put some stickers on it. So this one is from Niam, from Whimpers Embroidery, and this one is from it's from Prague, long story. And I want to put more on it. But what I did is, of course, there are some already started threads left over from the project, but how will I not make it full? So I organized it by color, and I put on the bobbin, I put the DMC and the number of the DMC color, so when I run out I can just refill it. I don't think I will run out of space anytime soon, but I'm really enjoying doing this, and I enjoy looking at this. And I think in the future, when I will use PDF patterns for cross stitch, which I plan to do already, they're like 2 on my radar already, then it will be useful to have the threads I can choose from, you know, and I can just take a look, and I'm like, okay, I will use this and this and this, they will fit together well. So yeah, embroidery, cross stitch, it's an obsession now, and you will see more about this in the coming videos, I'm sure. If you have any good resources, any good patterns, or you do cross stitch and embroidery and you want to show your work off, then please leave a comment below, because I would love to see it. With that out of the way, let's move forward to my knitting, because I am currently in 2 test knits. So the first one I started is the knit pearl sweater from greenermakes, from lovely Marie. She she showed this pattern when she was doing a test call, or like a few days before, and when I saw it I immediately wanted it, like I just wanted it, and I applied to test knit it, even though it was not a plan to test knit anything in the first half of the year. But I got in, and there was a discount code for yarn as a support for the test knitters, and in the January podcast I already showed that I started it. I started it on February 2nd, so it wasn't technically a January project, but I was just too excited not to show. And now I'm already done with the colorwork section, so I'm on the good part, sort of. Well, I love colorwork, but I'm on the part where I can just go around in plain stockinette. And I tried this on, I can actually show you, quick try-on session. Everything is on knitting cords, so it's safe. Okay, so this is my waist. I don't know how much you see. So this is my waist, and it's currently just below my waist, and I finished one skein of yarn. The fit is great, it's relaxed enough, but it also has a little bit of, I didn't do waist shaping, and yet it's very fitted. I love it. So I just finished a skein of yarn, and I put it on hold because I am not sure how much it will grow, and I'm not sure how long I want it. So apparently you should do 5 centimeters of ribbing, and well, that would be around this, yeah, which would be already in the middle of my hip. And I don't know if I want it longer, or if I want to just sit it here so it just covers my lower back, because I hate when my back is out. So if it would just cover my lower back and then it finishes, then I should actually go to the ribbing very soon, in like 2 rounds, and then I should do the ribbing. but if I want it lower, then it will go probably in the middle of my bum, and then I don't know how it will sit. So I'm currently in a dilemma. So I just left this on hold, the body. I think I finished this on Monday or something like that, Tuesday. Now it's Friday. I'm recording this on the last day of February. So I don't get in a pickle like my last month when I was already showing you the next month stuff. So when I finished the second skein of blue, I put it on the cords and I tried it on, and I just put it on hold because I will do the sleeves and the neckline first, and then after I done the sleeves and the neckline, then I will go back to the body. And I'm also thinking about, it's so warm, I might leave this on. I'm also thinking about maybe I will get to the sleeves before the ribbing as well and put them on hold and then do a made project block, because I am not sure how much this yarn will grow, and I do not want to end up with oversized sleeves because I don't like when it's, you know, going and you look like a mole. Yeah, a mole. Well, that's what we say in Hungarian. I just translated it. Sorry. International life. If you don't know, I live in Belgium, but I'm originally from Hungary, and I spent nearly 5 years in the Czech Republic. So many things which I say are often like just come to my mind in a different language or culture or whatever, and my brain, without noticing, translates it to English, and then it doesn't make sense. So sorry about that. Okay, I'm rambling a lot. So the point is, I am not sure of the length, and it fits great, but I don't know how long I want to go with this. And I have a short torso. Usually this part is shorter for me than for, like, in general, the pattern, so I end up with long armholes. And this, when I first tried it on, I was like, maybe the armhole is too big, but I think with the sleeves it will fit great, and I will actually have enough movement, so that will be good, I think. Yeah, so I will start the sleeves. I will start the sleeves on the weekend, and then stop before the cuff, do a block, and then see how much I want to continue with the body, how much I want to continue with the sleeves. Maybe I will try it on with different, like, bottoms, skirts, and pants to see in where, sort of, basically, to determine what will I like more. It's a test. It's not just a test for the designer, it's a test for me too. So yeah, started it on February 2nd. I'm using the recommended yarn. It's BC Garn Samila Melange. It's 100% wool yarn, which I absolutely love. And it comes in beautiful colors. And this color, ever since I got it and I started to work on it, I cannot stop thinking that this color is the color of TARDIS from Doctor Who. So now my Doctor Who obsession got awakened again. And I'm actually planning some Doctor Who themed knits for this year. We will see. We will see where I get, because too many projects, not enough time. I needed to size down with the needles. So the original needle for the body would be 3.5 millimeters, but I actually knit it on 3, which takes longer, but I actually like to knit on 3mm needles, so it's fine. Yeah, that's my first test knit. And there's a second test knit, which how will I show this? Okay, so Leah, who also has a YouTube channel, I will link her, and you can find her on Instagram too. Leah showed a knitted dress, which was a beautiful, like, A-line skirt, very twirly and fitted body, and then from the waist it's like an A-line skirt, which is the style I love to wear, the style I love. And I immediately loved it, and I was like, one point I need to knit this. And I shared it and I commented and everything, and she just texted me like, don't you want to test it? And I'm like, well, I have a lot of things to work on. I wanted to finish projects first. I don't really have free needles. Now I do, but yeah, I'm like, a lot of yarns. And then I checked the attributes, and actually it's perfect for me to work from my stash. So I'm like, okay, and immediately started to calculate sizes, and then we just went to back and forth. So in basically 15 minutes, I was convinced, and I applied to test knit the dress. Yeah, things happen. So, and I got in, so I'm test knitting the lakeside dress, which is a lovely design. I will put up a picture if I can, so you can see. And I'm such a loose knitter that I need to work on size smaller needles, which means that the body I need to knit with 2.5 millimeter needles. Actually, I'm still not on gauge. I'm one stitch out, but if I would go any more down, that would be 2 millimeter needles for the body, and that would mean all the finishing, all the edging would need to be done in 1.5 millimeter needles, which I really don't want to do. So I talked to her, I don't mind if it's not that, you know, fitted. It has negatives anyway. And she's like, yeah, fine, you can work with this gauge. So I started on 2.5 millimeter needles. I did not get far because I'm actually thinking I need to get a bit more work done. I think I will work on this on the weekend beside my cross stitch project, because I think it will be still not fitted enough, too big, so I might need to size down. And there is one member in a craft group, in a testing group, who wants to actually size up, so we might trade sizes, you know, so the test is not sort of compromised. Although Leah was so sweet, she said like it doesn't matter that much, like of course she wants every size to be tested, but she chose more testers for one size, so it would be absolutely fine. But yeah, I wouldn't want to you know, sabotage the testing. Anyway, so I'm working from stash yarn completely. I actually bought some extra yarn, but when I noticed that I'm absolutely off gauge, but that didn't work at all. It was even more off. So I'm like, okay, let's put it on a side. And I already know what I want to do with that yarn, which I bought. It's sort of the similar blue like this. This is Sahimaya Catania, but I bought very cheap yarn from my local store as a try for the body. And it did not work for this, but I know that from that I want to make the love letter top from Kutova Kika, and I already have a pattern, and I'm itching to cast that on, especially with the spring weather coming. But I'm holding back. I'm being good. I'm holding back. No more customs until I finish something, at least something. Very long story, very lot of ramble about this project, but so I did the swatch and I cast on February 21st, a few days after the test actually started. And for the body, for the main body, I'm using Knitting for Olive pure silk. This yarn is kind of leftover from my Amaretta blouse test knit. And this originally I ordered to make cumulus blouse, and I ordered 5 skeins, and I used 2 skeins. Yeah, I think I used 2 skeins for my Amaretta, so I have 3 skeins left, and it's more than enough for the body, holding single. And how the pattern works is that the body you knit with 1 strand of fingering weight, and the skirt part you knit with 2 strands, like so, holding fingering weight double, or with a one strand of DK. And in the original piece she made, and what she recommends is to have the body in 1 color, and the skirt, if you buy these ombre skeins, which are like color changing, fading, whatever, never had one, then you can hold 2 together, and then it will give you a beautiful like color shifting look at the end. I don't have that, but I have a bunch of like individual skeins, or like a few skeins of each color fingering weight yarn, cotton yarn in my stash, which I had left over from various projects or from my previous small business in Hungary. And I really wanted to use them up this year, and I already planned to make either a jacket or a dress out of them. So this was the perfect opportunity for me to use them up to make a dress. And I mixed and matched, and I calculated and I counted, and actually I have enough to make sort of an ombre look. So I will try to show you the colors. Not sure how it will work. Bear with me, please. So hopefully it won't fall. So this part is for the body, and these are all colors for the skirt. And what I'm planning to do is to go either from lightest to darkest or from darkest to lightest. And it will be a gray blue, greenish bluish ombre thing. I have no idea what will I choose at the end. I will need to get there and then decide. But I'm very happy because I had enough to use up. And I know this yarn, I know these are all pure cotton. So the top will be silk, which I think will be better for my skin when I wear it. And then the body will be from cotton. And I'm very excited to use them all up. And I calculated I should have enough weight, but I'm actually thinking of starting from darker to lightest, because then if I am running out of yarn or I need to make it longer, then I could pick up more of this color in my local store, and then it could match and I would not have a problem. Yes, I will try to put up the picture of the final color scheme, because I did make a picture of this. Don't know how it will show on camera, but yeah, this is what I made. So I just went to my stash, I picked a lot of stuff and I mixed and matched, and I was calculating. It was a whole math session calculating a lot, but I'm very happy with the choice. I'm very happy with the texture. The top could be a bit more dense, but I know it's because of my gauge. I'm such a loose knitter. Yeah, I need to size down, but I don't want to, because 2.5 millimeter for a whole body is enough. Yeah. Otherwise, I love it. Cannot wait to progress with this. I am hoping to get more ahead with the body on the weekend, and then I would just shift focus and focus on my sweater test knit and finish it as soon as possible, so I can actually focus on the dress, because the dress has 15 weeks, which is a very, very good test knitting like window, and the sweater has 10 weeks, which is also great. And I think I'm well on track with both, but I don't want to how to say, split my attention between them, because with test knitting I like to give feedback, I like to take notes, I want to follow everything by letter, so you know the feedback is actually accurate, and we actually see if the pattern works. So yeah, I think it's better if I focus on one and then on the other, but I have time, it's fine. Little sip of tea. Yes, to test knits. Okay, let's move on with more knitting. So I mentioned that we kind of accidentally, but we started the knit along with Michaela, and we are knitting muscle bear hats, and I was very well with mine. This is how far I am. It's puffy because my yarn is inside it, so basically it doubles as a project bag at this point, and I am very, very close to get to the decreases. I think I will need a few more rounds and then it's decrease time, but I ran off my mohair, so I'm holding a fingering weight and a lace weight together. So I'm holding a sock yarn with a mohair together, and the mohair was left over from my Stockholm sleepover, which is here because I was wearing it all day. But I didn't have enough of the fingering weight yarn left over to do it with that. Although if I run out of the one I chose, then I will just substitute, and I won't care if the crown is a little bit different colors. So I bought sock yarn in my local, it does not show properly on the camera. So it's very like a strawberry color in real life. Yeah, I just bought 2 skeins of this in my local yarn shop because I know that 2 skeins is enough for me for a muscle bear hat. And yeah, I started the second skein way after the half time, so I'm glad. It's okay. So the sock yarn I still have, but I ran out of mohair, and I think I will just go to my local store and find some color which is close enough, because the one I had I cannot buy here. The mohair I was using is Filcolana Tilia, which I bought in Prague back then last year in spring, and I don't have Filcolana here, so I need to substitute. But I think Katia mohair has a similar like bright pink like the one I had, so that's what I will use. Yeah, the knit along doesn't have a deadline, and I'm out of my time anyway because I wanted this for the cold time, but spring has arrived, so probably won't need that much hat here, although Belgium, you can never know. Anyway, I'm stuck with this. I need to go to the yarn shop to buy some yarn to finish it, but otherwise it's going well. It was my portable project even when I went to the Fiber Festival. So I'm looking forward to finish it and claim back my needle. But I'm very well enjoying the pure stockinette in the round. I love to do that. Maybe it's weird. Some people hate it. In the local craft group, two girls were actually like doing a trade that one of them will do the plain stockinette for the other, and the other one will do the color work for them in exchange, because that's what they like. Yeah, it's fun. The Musselburgh hat I started on January 29, and whenever I get that one skein of mohair, I think it will take me like 2 weeks to finish. We will see. I have one more knitting project to show. So this is a pair of leg warmers, and one of them I already finished since we last spoke. So it's basically a sock without toe and heel. Just did some knit to purl two at the both ends, and then plain stockinette in around. This is Christmas yarn. This is Relana Garn Flotte Socke, and it's a 6-ply, not a 4-ply. It's a Christmas yarn which I bought back then in Prague. And I wanted to make leg warmers because I am currently training for half marathon and I go to the gym often, and whenever I go I like to already go wearing my running stuff, and you know, running leggings are quite thin, so in a cold weather it's very good just to pull on some leg warmers and you know, you're good to go. And I started the project on last year September 30th, but I did not progress with it a lot. I put it down, I didn't touch it for a while, and then I picked it up again in February or January. No, January. And since then I finished one of them and I started the second one, and currently instead of the Musselburgh hat, this is my plain stockinette TV knitting project. I have this cute stitch marker on it. Yeah, just 15 rounds of ribbing and then 100 rounds of stockinette. That's what I made up for myself because the length seemed good, and I will finish when I will finish. We are already planning to go on some races as the weather is getting better, but it's still very cold. It's just a bit more sunny and a bit less windy. It still rains a lot. Today we had 3 different kinds of weather already, and it's not even 2. So yeah, that's my current comfort knitting when I don't have to pay attention at all. I'm just going around. Love it. And I have one crochet project to show. So last time we spoke, I showed you that I finally took my, well, I call it my Portugal shawl or the sunshine wrap, out of hibernation, and I started to work on it. And when I last showed you, I was here. I put a stitch marker on it so I can show you, and since then I progressed one motif. It's not a lot because if I crochet I need to look at it, especially when I'm doing a pattern like this, and I need to count a lot. And even though I would be fine doing it as we watch something on the TV, but my partner is always like, you're not even watching. So I just switched to plain stockinette knitting because then I don't have to watch it that much. Yeah, so it's not that much of a progress, but it's something. and I go like back and forth. Yeah, it's just like a picture on Pinterest which I took, and I took the pattern from that basically. I didn't see it anywhere else actually. So I don't know if any pattern like this exists, but I like the picture and I had some yarn, so I was basically copying it for myself. Yeah. This is yarn from the Czech Republic. It is called Scarlet, and I started this project in 2020 March. Yes, the year 2020 March, when we all were stuck at home. But hopefully now I can actually finish it. I am very much drawn to crochet these days. I am hyped about crochet projects. I miss doing it. I cannot do it a lot because my hand tends to hurt more from crochet, but after this I want to do more crochet projects. I'm thinking of doing some amigurumi. Bex from the Pigeon's Nest has some very cute patterns, and she's doing the Year of Frogo, and I have not her frog pattern, but I actually made a frog, an amigurumi frog, during COVID times. Let me show you. So I made a frog during the lockdown. It's Mr. Frogo, or Mr. Frog, or Mr. Bracky, depends. He doesn't really have a name. And I was thinking that I could use Pigeon's patterns from the Year of Frogo to make him some outfits, and it actually inspired me to make him some stuff. He's just sitting at my desk, or the little shelf on my desk, and I sometimes use him in my work. I am a coach, I'm a trainer, and sometimes it's just, you know, easier to bring in something playful. So he's kind of a mascot. So yeah, I was inspired by Pigeon to do more crochet, and she has lovely patterns. And I just saw, like, she talked about it a lot lately, that she had a collaboration with an indie game producing company, indie game company. How do you say that? Yeah, so who do video games, and she had a collaboration with them to make a pattern and to make the actual character from their game, and it's called Pages, I think. Mr. Pages. I don't know that game, so today I went to check it out, and I probably will try it. But I did get the pattern, which good, because she talked about it so much. I was very curious, and it was so cute that I needed to get it. So yeah, I think that also comes in the upcoming weeks. I'm just very hyped about crochet and cross stitch, and I don't know, I love knitting, but sometimes I miss old things. Well, old for me. I always crocheted. The other day I was feeling nostalgic, and I went through some pictures on my phone, and like in 2019, 2017, I'm crocheting all the way. Yeah, I loved it. I crocheted all the time growing up as well. Yeah, I just miss doing it more, and I feel like crochet is so comforting for me. I don't have to think that much than when I do knitting, because I know crochet much more and I'm more experienced with it. And yeah, I don't know, it's just comforting. It's like going to Germany for me. I feel at home in Germany. Okay, we went very much off topic. So Year of Frogo, I might participate, although I missed the first 2 months, but it's okay. It's okay, I can still catch up. Yeah, so these are all the projects, but I wanted to show you something which is connected to my making right now. As I talked about it at the start, I'm very much into cross stitch and embroidery right now. And for embroidery, I have project bags. I have one project bag from Wimper's Embroidery, and I have one project bag from Angelique. Don't know how to say her name. She's French. I went to a fiber festival nearby to where I live, and I met her there, and she had beautiful bags, and I got an embroidery project bag. That's where I keep my embroidery. But as I started to do cross stitch, I realized I need more of this type of project bags, not the knitting type of project bags, because I don't want to just shove everything in a bucket as I do with knitting. So I was looking online and I could of course order something, but I'm more and more inspired to do a little bit of sewing in the coming weeks. So, and I have some projects in mind which I actually want to do with sewing. So I dug through my fabric stash and I actually have this very, very cute patterned fabric. This is cotton with hedgehogs, and I love hedgehogs. I have like a little hedgehog plushie which I slept with since I was 3. So I want to use this and make a cross stitch project bag, and I was looking at things and I could, you know, do similar than what I already have for embroidery, but I'm actually feeling like trying something more, and I want to do a bag which is sort of opening like a book. So what I have right now, it's a rectangle and there's a front pouch and there is a big pouch and you just put things in separately. But I want to do sort of like a book style thing where you can open it up, and this side there will be space for the hoop, and this side there will be space for the thread I'm holding, or the thread card, or how do you call that thing with the holes where you keep the cutted thread, for that, and my scissor and my extra needles. So I want to make this. I need to check if I have anything to put in between the layers, because this will not be sturdy enough. I'm looking there because there's my fabric stash. I did not find anything, so I might need to go to the fabric store, but that is coming, and I already have the idea how I want to make it. I looked at a bunch of pictures on Pinterest, I looked at a bunch of pictures on Etsy, and I want to make my own. So that is coming. That's the next sewing project beside all the things I need to finish. Well, I feel like I went off topic a lot and I rambled a lot, and it was a very chaotic episode, but I hope you liked it. I thank you that you watched the whole thing. I thank you that you're coming back to watch more of my content. I'm trying to focus more on YouTube this year. I'm trying to be more consistent with the videos, and I have actually ideas what to make videos about. Yeah, and yeah, I have a plan. I have more things to come. I actually filmed sort of a vlog style one about the Fiberfest we went to with my friends, so that's coming. I just need to finish editing, but probably this one will go up first. If that is, or if the vlog is already up, then I will link it here. If it's not up, then keep an eye out on the channel because it's coming. Yeah, with that being said, thank you very, very much again for watching. If you liked the episode, please leave me a like and please subscribe. I very much appreciate each and every one of you who comes back and hangs out with me here. So take care and see you next time. Bye bye.